Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video brought to you by SeniorCatWellness.com. If you enjoyed today's presentation and find it informative, please feel free to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share the content. Today's video subject: why won't my cat cover its poop anymore? Before we begin, let's first take a look at today's topic overview. Cats stop covering their waste due to arthritis, mobility issues, injuries, diabetes, kidney failure, and urinary tract infections. The discomfort that these medical conditions cause makes covering poop and urine difficult. Older cats may have cognitive issues, so they forget how to hide their waste. When it comes to the reasons, the topic can be divided into two categories: environment and physical health. Although our topic overview was rightfully slanted more toward the health aspects, outside influences from the most obvious to the subtle can play a big role. Let's start with litter box preferences. Cats are quite particular in this area: the size, placement, cleaning frequency, and the litter itself. If anything is off, this can cause your pet to stop covering. This can become all the more common in older felines. As a side note, these preferences will serve as the backbone for most every aspect concerning this subsection going forward. Next up, we have space. Cats need room to cover. If there just isn't space in the litter box, this can pose a problem. Always ensure that your cat not only has enough room to do its business, but enough room to cover. Next, we have cleanliness. Cats bury their waste to shield their scent from predators, and just a general desire to be clean. With that foundation in place, most cats will be unlikely to cover if the litter box is just a dirty area entirely. Next, we have that all important litter type. The scent and texture of your cat's litter can play a major role in how your cat responds. Lack of coverage could be a response to the type of litter that is being used, especially if the litter is different than what your cat has known in the past. Next, we have too much noise, too much racket. This is all about the placement of the litter box. Cats need a quiet spot in a low or no traffic zone. Using the litter box in an uncomfortable location can cause your cat to want to get in and get out real fast. And I mean, hey, you can't really blame them. Just imagine if your toilet was in the middle of your living room. Yeah. And that leads us right into our next section: stress. Throwing off the routine can cause your cat, especially your older pet, to become quite stressed. If your cat begins to associate the litter box with negative experiences, your pet will be less likely to cover its business. Here again, get in, get out, with no desire to tidy up. And the final non physical health related aspect of this topic that we'll cover here today involves territory marking. If your cat just wants to display some level of dominance, specifically to other cats within your home, it might just leave a few things uncovered. This is why it's important in a multi cat household for each cat to have their very own space, far apart if possible. Now let's transition to the health related matters. They're often responsible for seemingly sudden acts of not covering waste. Let's start with diabetes. And while diabetes itself is not sudden, it can reach a crisis point. Excessive urination can cause a cat to grow weary of the litter box, which can lead to uncovered waste. A cat that uses the restroom more frequently will also use up litter at a much faster rate. This can only add to the desire to leave waste uncovered, as fresh litter can become scarce. Next, we have kidney failure. Kidney problems in general can make the process of urinating quite painful. Kidney disease is more common among older cats. Similar to kidney issues and diabetes, urinary tract infections can lead to frequent urination and discomfort. UTIs can cause your pet to assume rather odd postures in an effort to urinate. This can even cause your cat to use the restroom outside of the litter box itself. And the final factor that we'll cover today, as it relates to lack of covering in a more sudden fashion, is that of injury. If your pet has suffered a foot, claw, or paw pad injury, this could lead to a serious level of discomfort, thus causing your cat to remove itself from the act of waist covering. The task could just be too great. In some cases, the litter itself can prove to be a source of added pain if your cat is sensitive in certain areas. In some instances, softer litter can improve your cat's bathroom behavior. What about senior felines specifically? While that's not to say that older cats can't suffer or be influenced by everything we've already mentioned here today, there are some issues that can arise by simply living in those precious golden years. Let's begin with arthritis. Achy and painful joints can make using the bathroom a very negative experience. From the posture taken to the act of covering waste, it can be quite painful. In an effort to help your aging pet, consider swapping the existing litter bowl for one with lower walls, lower sides. Introduce a softer and lighter litter. Consider adding a ramp to the bowl or tray if needed for easier access. And finally, move the bowl a bit closer to where your cat spends most of its time. Next, we have cognitive problems. In the twilight of life, your cat may become forgetful. This includes the litter bowl location and proper litter habits. When it comes to this situation, patience, management, and love will be needed at an all time high for sure. Excuse your cat's waste mistakes. It really serves no purpose to get mad at your cat over something it may not be able to control. And the last factor that we'll cover today as it relates to your senior cat is mobility. Not just arthritis, but any and everything. Weak muscles, weak joints, and weak bones. Going to the restroom is second nature to a young and healthy cat. However, limited mobility can make everything a chore. This includes the covering of waste. Here again, love and patience will win the day. Help your cat as much as possible and lovingly excuse the rest. You'll know the limits of what you can do and what you'll just have to accept. While certain medical issues can make it almost impossible for your cat to properly cover waste, if your cat is refusing to cover due to the many mental and emotional aspects that we've spoken about in our initial portion of today's video, the core effort here should center around finding the primary reason for the entire behavior. It's all about correcting the issue, as it is extremely rare that a cat would just stop covering for no reason at all. If your pet is in otherwise good health, your job is all about finding the issue at hand. Perhaps a bit of retraining could be in order. We offer up the following tips. Number one, when the cat has finished using that litter box, just check to see if the waste has been covered. Number two, if it hasn't or only been partially covered, return the cat to the box. Number three, using its paw, make it brush the litter over and cover that waste. Number four, do this each time your cat uses the litter box. And five, once it covers the waste, reward it with praise and those all precious treats. If you would like more information concerning today's subject matter, including even more details regarding all of the reasons, health and otherwise, that were presented here today, please click the initial link in the description box below and join us at seniorcatwellness.com. And once again, feel free to like and share this video and subscribe to the channel if this type of content is of interest to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.